Hi everybody, Mary Howard here, the Mayor of Clare, and I'm delighted to be here today to launch this Easter Tree of Hope. It's been launched by our Polish community here in Ennis, but if you want to come down and put your egg on the tree at any stage, you're more than welcome to do so. And this initiative will be happening in Limerick as well. So happy Easter everybody.
Hello, I'm Orla. I'm with Clare Immigrant Support Centre based here in Ennis, and I'm delighted to be here today putting my beautiful egg on this Easter Tree of Hope, which is a tradition from many different Eastern European countries and is an initiative here in Ennis with the Polish community from Limerick and Clare. You will learn how to do the lovely eggs, how to make them yourselves, and how to hang them on a tree for your families, for your friends, for your country people. In Ennis we have people from at least 80 different countries living here who are all valued members of our society, and while Easter may not be a time that they celebrate, it is a time where they can eat Easter eggs, hopefully with the rest of us, and enjoy them. I would like to wish everybody a happy Easter and a safe Easter. Banachtaí na chósca arb ilig, chós conadív agus bear bua. Good luck and bless for the rest of the year.
I'm Joe from the Clare Immigrant Support Centre here in Ennis. I'm delighted to be here to celebrate Easter with Anna and the Polish community here, and I'd just like to talk a little bit about the traditions of Ireland pre-Christian time, and they have actually become confused because they've grown into Christian customs and traditions too. But from the early days in Ireland, Easter heralded spring, and it was a very special time for people. And before they came to a special time or festival, they always would fast. And in the case of coming up to Easter, they would fast for a long time, and they would spare themselves by eating very simple fare, mainly herring. And that was the common fish that people used. So by the time it came to Easter, they were so fed up with the poor herring that they used to have a procession called Whip the Herring procession. And usually then the people, mainly the victuallers and the butchers, would lead this procession with the herring on the end of a pike. And everybody was invited to come and whip that herring, just whip it, so that the herring, by the time they got to a river or lake, they threw the poor herring in there, and they replaced it with a dead lamb that they put at the end of the pike. And there was great celebration, flowers and garlands around the lamb, and the lamb was brought back in great jubilation. But not everybody had lamb, only the people who were well-to-do had lamb. But the poorer people were very happy to go back to their boiled meat. Good Friday, it was said, the best eggs were laid on Good Friday, and people used those eggs after dyeing them. They would dye them different colours, and they would celebrate on Easter Sunday by having the eggs then. And it was, children would go and they would ask for eggs from different farmers. Children from the towns, they would get dressed up in old clothes and put soot on their face so they wouldn't be recognised. And it was considered bad luck to refuse somebody who came out with a clue jug, as it was called. And if somebody from a house gave them bad eggs, then that was a very evil thing to do, and they had bad luck too. There were all sorts of things. They used to bless salt and water and pour the salt on animal feed so that they would have no disease in the farm for the rest of the year. And the water, they would use it on the animals' feed as well, so they would have no disease. Animals were so important. People might just have one animal, and that animal was very important to get them through the year. But above all, Easter was celebration. Thank you.
My name is George. I am from Bulgaria, from Sofia. One of the biggest celebrations in Bulgaria is Easter. We start preparing for that celebration all Holy Week before that. We coloring the eggs Thursday morning or Saturday morning before the sunrise. The first egg needs to be a red one, what's meaning the blood of Jesus. With that egg, we're doing little crosses in the faces of the kids to be healthy all year. Saturday night, before the Easter, in the middle of the night, in the church, the priest doing big mass. 12 o'clock in the middle of the night, he going out of the church with the lighting candles, and everybody needs to get the light from there and bring it home with the candles. Sunday morning, when the Easter started, we pick the coloring eggs and start fighting. That's the biggest, the funniest moment of Easter. We start fighting. The winner, that who is with the full egg in the end, he will be all year successful person, healthy, victory. Happy Easter. Christos Voskrese.
Hello, my name is Marta. I'm coming from Poland. I live in Wrocław in Lower Silesia. However, my grandparents are from east of the Poland, so we would have a little bit different traditions, and the traditions came more from that side the country. So on Saturday we are going to the church and we blessing our food. So in the basket you can find eggs, you can find the salt, you can find the pepper, the butter, bread, sausages, and everything gonna go into the lovely soup. It's called barszcz biały. On Monday we also have the tradition, it's called lany poniedziałek. So in all tradition, the man was throwing the water into the girls, and that showed that they actually like them. So we do that as a little symbol. At the moment we only throw a little bit of the water for everybody in our house. I would like to say something about my outfit also. It's coming from Chrzczonów in Lubelskie county, and as you can see it's really beautiful, colorful and rich. Chciałabym wszystkim złożyć najserdeczniejsze życzenia wielkanocne, zdrowia, spokoju, szczęścia, radości, smacznego jajka oraz mokrego dyngusa. Najlepszego.
Hello, my name is Alman. I am from Lithuania. Decorated eggs originally come from Pagan's Natur Festival. Their patterns can have elements of nature, like flowers, the sun. I decorated eggs from silk scratches. I wrapped the egg in a small piece of silk and boiled in water with vinegar for 25 minutes. Then I cool, unwrap and smear with oil, make them shine. Sveikinu visus su artėjančiom šventom Velykom. Linkiu gražios pavasariškos šventės, vilties, meilės, sveikatos ir gražių, tvirtų margučių. Ačiū visiems. Thank you to all.
Hi everybody, my name is Dana. I'm from Slovakia. I live in Ireland for 15 years and I'm here today to tell you a little bit about Easter Slovak traditions. I remember Easter was one of the favorite times of the year for me because it was just starting of the spring, beautiful weather, sunny days, everything was blooming, all the birds were singing. It was just magical time of the year. I remember over the weekend before the Easter, we would always decorate our house. We would pick up willow trees and put them in the lovely vase and decorate it with these handmade eggs that we used to make at home. We used to make them at school. It was just beautiful tradition connected to Easter. Beside decoration around the house, there would always have to be a traditional food. My mom would make lots of potato salad. There would be hard-boiled eggs. Hard-boiled eggs, she would put them in a lovely basket and put like a little knitted chicken on top of it. It looked absolutely beautiful. She would make some homemade breaded chicken. We would have some what else could it be? Ham, smoked ham, and lots of other foods. And so over the weekend we were preparing for the Easter because Monday was the main day when all the visitors, all like people from your family, your neighbors, or friends from school, all the boys would come to your house. And that's where all the fun started because all the girls kind of suffered over the over the Easter because we're being whipped with like a kind of braided wooden whip with a little ribbon and on the top of it. Boys would pour cold water on us as well. And I remember there were days when I was changing 20 times in a day because I was just wet from head to toe. But despite all this torturing on the girls, I still remember Easter very fondly. It was a magical time of the year, and želám vám krásne veľkonočné sviatky.
Hi, my name is Lana. I'm from Riga, the capital city of Latvia, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about Latvian traditions of celebrating Easter. Like in many East European countries, Easter was celebrated before Christianity, and just to mark the occasion of arrival of the spring and plants beginning to grow and the sunshine. That's why the egg is the symbol of Easter. And the egg is also symbolizes in Latvian tradition fertility. So eggs traditionally are colored in onion skins. They're being boiled in onion skins, and traditionally people wrap the leaves around it or different twigs and then boil in onion skins to make lovely designs. There are many different traditions in Latvia, and traditionally family and friends gather together and different foods are being served, especially round foods that symbolize the sun again. And also during Easter time, on Easter morning, it is very important to get up early and head to the stream, especially if you're living in the countryside, and wash yourself while the sun is rising. And that's, if you do that, Latvian people believe that you will be healthy and beautiful and have a good luck. So I believe young girls still do it out in the country because who wouldn't want to be beautiful and healthy? Another tradition that is still going on and is very popular in our family anyways, it was to bring eggs to cemetery, to the graveyard, and to visit relatives during Easter time. And the reason for that was that egg also symbolizes the rebirth, and in olden days people believed that if the eggs are brought to the graveyard and put on the grave, that person will be reborn twice. So, and another tradition that is very popular and people still do that quite a lot, it's swinging on the swings. The wooden swings are being put up, and nowadays they do it in the big cities too. They do it in the parks and on the squares, and the swinging tradition, you have to swing all Easter, and it's fun, and there's a lot of swinging and dancing going on. And once Easter time is over, the swings actually have to be burned, because they believe if the swings stay up for the next year, that birds won't lay any eggs. So, and witches will come and swing on the swings as well. Priecīgas Lieldienas!
My name is Tim, and we're in Limerick, and I'm from Limerick, and we have a lot of Easter traditions in Ireland. A lot of them date back to earlier Christian times and Celtic times, etc. And my recollections of Easter would start with Lent, and we would, not be allowed to eat eggs. But it's changed, I guess, over my lifetime. We've had chocolate eggs, but we couldn't eat any of these eggs until after Easter Sunday, after tradition. We had a lot of traditions of music and church. Both my parents sang in choirs. The church is actually just across the street here from where we are today, the Dominican church. So we'd lots of fun. In previous times going back, there was lots of traditions in Ireland where, you know, they would have games with eggs and Easter hunts, and it was a wonderful time. And we'd also have a lot of sport. So we were very happy times, and I suppose a really good blessing to you all, I just come to it, is Banachdi na Costa Orav, which means Happy Easter to everybody today. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Marketa and I'm from the Czech Republic. I was asked today to talk to you about some of the Easter traditions that we have. Now, Easter in Czech is Velikonoce. If you look at the root of that word, if you were to translate it literally, it means great nights or big nights. So it is kind of obvious that our ancestors knew the significance of this time of the year. The traditions that we have in the Czech Republic are rooted in pre-Christian times. You can kind of trace the themes of fertility, rebirth, youth, the start of the life cycle in nature. And maybe because they are so old, they may feel a little bit at odds with our contemporary thinking right now, with the way we live our lives. Why I say that is that it seems that the Easter traditions and rituals in the Czech Republic, the actions that are needed to carry out these rituals, are divided by gender. So there are different actions for girls, and there are different actions to be done for boys. So the way it works is girls or women prepare for the coming of Easter by preparing eggs. So they take eggs and they paint them and they make them pretty, kind of like this egg that we have prepared for you earlier. And there's different ways of making your eggs pretty. You can paint them, you can dye them in different colors, you can put stickers on them, you can do wax art on them, you can do scratch art on them. So you make sure you make enough eggs for the Easter Monday, when boys can come round to your house carrying what we call a pomlaska, which is, now this is going to sound really strange, but it is a stick that is made from young willow trees. So the boys, in preparation for Easter, while the girls and women are making eggs, they go out into the country and they cut young willow branches, really the thin, bendy ones, and they plait them together like you would your hair, for example, and make kind of a stick, which is called pomlaska. So on Easter Monday morning, before 12 o'clock at noon, that seems to be the cut-off time, they come round to girls' houses with their pomlaskas. They ring the bell, the girls open the door with their eggs, and the boys symbolically whip them on the legs or the bottom. Now, obviously, this is quite controversial, and probably not in keeping with the Convention of Human Rights anymore, but that's the tradition. Now, in fairness, I haven't been in the Czech Republic for a long time, and I stopped participating in this ritual as in my mid-teens, when I started railing against patriarchy, I suppose. But yeah, that's what we used to do with my mum and my sister. We would paint our eggs and get them ready for the boys, and then we would awkwardly open the doors for the boys when they rang the bell, and we would let them select from our eggs. And there we kind of thought, or maybe the feeling was that if a boy picked a red egg, he liked you. Yeah, so that's kind of my memories of Easter or Velikonoce, and I would hope that the society and us all of us have moved on, and we wouldn't be keeping traditions like this to be gender based on gender. So if any girls wanted to make a pomlaska and go around and get eggs from other girls or other boys, that wouldn't be seen as something strange. So I hope you all have a brilliant Easter. Don't go whipping any girls. I hope I didn't give you any ideas there. And Vesele Velikonoce.
Chodziły gospodarze nogi, śpiewamy, śpiewamy, pieśń nam wietrzyk niesie. Niech nam gospodyni śmigus wyniesie, niech nam gospodyni